Today on Comicstorian, we're going to explore what Thor does as the King of Asgard when he does nothing but fail. This is the Comicstorian channel, where I take some of your favorite trade paperbacks and single issues and I break them down into a synopsis of the storyline, cutting out all of the fluff so that you can go buy this issue and get more context, or go get the next issues and know what is going on in the world of comic books. All alterations to the panel text and images are to prevent copyright problems, and all art is owned by its respective companies. Today we're going to be doing the next 3 issues of Thor. 15, 16, 17, 18. When we last left off with Thor, he was the King of Asgard, which led to him joining up as the Herald of Galactus and going off on a different adventure, where he discovered through the Black Winter that Thanos was going to somehow lift his hammer. He then went on a journey to battle against Donald Blake, and after that resolved, he discovered that his hammer was broken, that anybody can pick up the hammer, and it seems to be angry with him. And now he's trying to figure out, how does he become a king, and how does he deal with a broken hammer? In today's episode of The Thor. I hope you guys enjoy. The halls of Asgard roar with song and laughter as another foe has been felled. All is well, except one thing: King Thor. Thor stares into his meat as Volstag shouts about their king's recent triumphs over the fairy tale land that he was trapped into, and Thor pauses. What did you say? Where I was imprisoned? Did you call it a fairy tale? Volstag laughs it off, telling him, "Please pardon his tongue. He is drunk and has no idea of the landscape. He was merely..." But Thor stops him. "No! You have no idea what you are talking about! You have no idea what it was like to be so helpless." He slams his mug, shouting, "To have your lightning, your own Odin-damned hammer betray you! None of you!" And as the halls fall silent, Thor stands. "Perhaps I have had too much to drink." He returns to his room where his hammer sits on the floor, and after barely managing to lift it a few inches, it slams back to the ground. He tries again, asking, "Why are they doing this to me? What is wrong with me? What is wrong with you, hammer?" Just then Mjolnir slips from his grasp, spinning around, slamming into his chest, launching him into the table. And as he lay there, Loki knocks, asking, "Is everything all right? I heard a noise," and Thor yells, "Close the door!" And as Loki comes in, he says that perhaps you are too old for... Thor tells him, "I cannot stand. My chest, the hammer. I cannot lift it, Loki." So Loki lifts the hammer up, helping Thor up, and Thor tells him, "You mustn't tell a soul." Surely the story of a warrior falling whilst drunk would alarm no one. But of course, you have my... But Thor stops him. "I am not a warrior. I am a king, and we must end this." Down on Earth, Cap and the Avengers fight back a swarm of robotic monsters, and they're quickly losing ground. Cap yells that they are better than this when suddenly a bright light is shown and Thor crashes into the street. As the dust settles, he tells them, "I must speak with Captain Rogers." Cap turns to him, "Sure, I don't have a lot going on. What's up, Thor?" Thor walks through, punching the monsters in his path, telling him, "I wish to speak with you more privately." And She-Hulk asks, "What of these monsters?" Thor looks over. "Oh, my apologies, one moment." Lightning rains down from the sky, easily ripping through the horde until there is nothing left. "Okay, a word, Captain Rogers, please." Iron Man flies over, asking what this is about. Has he come to surrender in their little prank war, or... But as Iron Man reaches out, lightning shocks his hand, and Thor glares back. "I have no time for games. I came to speak to the captain and..." But Captain America steps up. "Hey, I don't care what the problem is. We're a team, and..." But at that moment, Thor feels his hammer rumble and tells Cap to guard himself. He can't. He struggles, shouting, "Mjolnir!" But then the hammer lifts up on its own, slamming down on Cap's shield. After the strike, Cap lowers the shield, telling Thor, "You hit me." And Thor stumbles back. "I did not mean to. It's Mjolnir. Something is wrong. It's acting upon its own accord. I'm losing control." "Okay, big guy, let's go talk." So later at Avengers Mountain, Thor and Cap sit at the table with Thor asking, "When was the last time that we saw each other?" And Cap tells him when they fought Null, the god of the void, the god of symbiotes, then the Phoenix Force. But why does he ask? Thor takes a drink. "Because I don't. I can't remember. I never do. The thing with immortality is that it comes with a price. A moment for mortals. A battle, a war, a day. They are mere seconds to me. I remember them as well as you would recall what you had for breakfast a year ago. It is why I am grateful to see you and the others. My perception of time every time I leave and come back. I am happy that you are all still alive. I have lost so many here, and I've missed their passing, missed entire lives, entire lifetimes, while I was out playing soldier for my father. But I am no longer the soldier. Cap tells him that Tony mentioned the hammer was getting heavier for him, and others can pick it up freely. He didn't want to say anything, but Thor closes his eyes. I am no longer the tip of Asgard's spear. My father forged Mjolnir to be given to a warrior, to face the front lines of any threat, and that warrior is me. And that is all I have ever been, a warrior, a hammer. Cap pauses. Are you not a warrior, Thor? And Thor takes Mjolnir, slamming it on the table. I do not think it. I feel it. And I am no king, not yet. I shall remain Asgard's king, but I am afraid I can no longer be its hammer. Later, Thor finds himself under a red sky, under the heel of Thanos. It was a nightmare that is never ending. Thanos wielding Mjolnir with the Infinity Stone buried in the Uru. Thor was powerless to stop him, and with a heavy boot, Thanos placed it on his head and crushed Thor's skull. And after the dream, as the two walk through New York, Jane tells him, that dream is kind of brutal. You have that nightmare every night, Thor? I don't sleep every night, but when I do, yes. So you got all of this from looking into a storm with Galactus? You saw a prophecy that you were gonna die? Aye, the Black Winter. To gaze into its eye is to see the ultimate and final truth. I looked against my better judgment. Wait a second. You saw Thanos wielding Mjolnir, and then out of the blue the enchantment stops working and anyone can pick it up? And you thought it best to leave it literally where anyone can pick it up? Thor pauses for a moment, and then says, look there, hot dogs! After grabbing a handful from the cart, there's a scream for help, and Jane says that he needs to pull down his ponytail, and they need to suit up. As Jane wears her Valkyrie armor and flies off, Thor says, I didn't bring a suit. And across the street, Wrecker and his crew rob an armored truck, making a deposit at the bank. Wrecker throws his crowbar, and as it whizzes past, Jane laughs, punching him in the face. As they grapple, she says, it's good to see that you haven't changed. And Wrecker says, you know my crowbar comes back, right? Jane headbutts him and jumps around to his back. Yeah, I'm familiar with the concept. As the crowbar flies back, Thor holds tight and Jane kicks Wrecker forward, letting out a thunderous reunion across his face. The others look on as Jane and Thor fold their arms and begin to take off. As the two begin to clean up, Jane asks, what is this about? Thor doesn't talk about his problems, nor does he run from them. Just what are you afraid of, Thor? I'm not afraid of anything. I merely came to. But at that moment, Odin and Munin fly down squawking, my king, you've been summoned! It is your mother! Jane smiles, telling him to go, and she'll clean up things with the Wrecker and crew. Go talk to your mom. Be a king. Thor sighs. Sif, I am ready, and just like that, Thor is brought back to the realms above. As he arrives to the singing forest of Anaheim, he turns asking if he's in the right place. And as he turns, he sees Odin sitting by a fire with Odin asking, what? Thor walks forward telling him, I should have known. You used my mother's name to lure me here. Even for you, this is low. Calm down and get down. At that moment, a stampeding beast comes through the woods, knocking the trees over, and the two catch it by its tusks, with Thor asking what is the meaning of this. Odin tells him, quit whining and wait, where is your hammer? But before Thor could answer, they're thrown back as blood sprays and the creature begins to slide off. A voice tells him, I've been wondering about the hammer as well. It's why I called you both here. But that will have to wait. Freya stands up wearing black armor, holding a giant sword. It's nice to see my son again. Your sister Angela and I would like to have a word. And beside his mother is a woman who stands tall with fiery red hair. It's quiet in the forest of Vanaheim as a bloody Thor and Odin stare at their savior, a great sword-wielding Freya, and Thor's sister Angela. Thor smiles, telling her that it's good to see her again, but Angela presses a finger to her lips. Shh. Thor asks, what is it? And she tells him that they're all going to die. And at that moment, a swarm of beasts comes stampeding in. She explains, these beasts are called the Korgans, an invasive species from Muspelheim, brought here during the Realm War. Freya adds, the smell of their own dying attracts their young. Take this sword, I'll be right back. She leaves with Angela yelling, kill them cleanly. The more blood, the more will come. And Odin asks, what is the plan then? We're going to spill even more blood fighting. While Angela says, we wait for the god of the hunt. Who? And Thor tells him, I believe the god of the hunt might be Mother. Freya then screams as she jumps into battle on her feline steed, firing her bow as well as the miniguns mounted on it. As the whirl of the guns die down, she hops off. Okay, now that has been taken care of, who's hungry? As the sun begins to set and the fire cooks the night's bounty, Odin says that he can't believe that she kept the damned cat. And what is this goddess of the hunt nonsense? Freya corrects him. God of the hunt, and I was growing tired of my former title as the goddess of fertility. Odin stands up. I did not come here to receive judgment from my own children. I was just protecting my family. And Angela throws a knife at Odin's hand, telling him to sit. Freya did not summon them, she did. She's been watching, and they know of the Black Winter and the death of Galactus. They know of Donald Blake breaking free and becoming evil. They know of the World Serpent, and they know of Mjolnir. They know of the growing entropy of Odin's enchantments, of the unraveling of Asgard under Thor's rule. They have seen all of this, and well, Mother and I would like to have a word. Asgardians have a bad habit of bringing death to the rest of them when the throne isn't tidy. Together, the two of you will learn from each other, king to king, son to father, father to son. A house divided cannot stand. This kingdom of ours is on the brink, and I, for one, have no interest in cleaning it. If you cannot clean up your kingdom, I will take it from you. This is your last warning. Is that a threat, sister? Do not forget the hierarchy of the throne, little brother. I do not want it, but by blood and right, the throne of Asgard is mine, and I will take it if it prevents you from destroying everything in your arrogant path. Thor's eyes begin to spark. I would like to see you try. And Freya then gets up, separating them, telling Angela that she should just take Odin home. Give some time for a mother to speak to her child. I am going nowhere with you. You are likely to put a dagger in my back. I'd sooner rather fight another horde of whatever beasts this accursed land has to offer. Freya tells him that the feeling is mutual, and if he wants a fight, she might just have a place for him. As the two leave, Freya looks at Thor, asking what happened. She's not a fool, and he is no longer a boy. She has lived long with Odin's secrets, his schemes, and his infidelities. There is so much that he still does not know, secrets that she dares not speak of. Thor says that he admits that he had revelations given to him that caused him pause. He does not know what to do with them. Freya says, the Phoenix? Your mother? And Thor tells her, yes. Freya smiles, telling him that she has changed his diaper. She taught him to read. She helped him when he wept and laughed. Mother was his first word, and he spoke it to her. She may not have carried him. She is not the Phoenix, his birth mother. But none of that matters now. She is his mother. Now, what is wrong? Thor says that she has heard of his reign, and Freya tells him yes. The black reign of the thunder god. Why have you been so cruel? Thor stares for a moment and looks away, telling her because he will have no heir, and he never will. He will be the last and final king. He will not raise a child to inherit this cursed throne, not after what he has seen, not after Thanos. Freya tells him that things are not as dire as he may think. How many times has the world ended? How many times have we put it back together? Whatever it is, we will face together. Everything will be okay. And she hugs Thor as his phone begins to ring. He answers it, and Cap tells him, listen, there's been a problem, Thor. It's Mjolnir. It's been stolen. And there you guys have it, catching you up on more Thor issues. It'll probably be about a month, but we'll get back to do the next story arc as it's got to resolve. I hope you guys have been enjoying this. Don't forget to like, subscribe, smash that notification bell, and join the Comicstorian family. My name is Benny. I got a booster shot this morning, and my brain is feeling like mush. I hope you guys are all doing well. I had a hard time doing this intro and outro. I just thought I'd tell you guys that. I'm going to go eat a lot of cookies and watch a TV show. Thank you, and have a good night.